Yeah. Okay, we on the air. All right. It's going down. All right. 30 seconds. Good morning, everybody. Another glorious week has closed.
Good
And we're
morning.
back in the building. Hey,
Good
we
morning.
yay live stream. I just got the notification on my phone that it's starting. It's pretty impressive.
Mm,
I know that. Oh, we
mm-hmm,
in the building
mm-hmm.
once again for another episode of Good Morning. Yes,
Good morning.
another episode to discuss money, business, our whatever. We discussing it. It's all good. So, man, I mean, I'm James Hayward, CPA. Man, Hayward CPA. I'll let you give all your platitudes
Corey H. Franklin
with a K.
with a K. That's
Yeah.
all I have to say.
so, all right. We here today. This is gonna be a great topic.
I didn't get some of those, the feather things that they,
Yeah,
the little
Lord. Yeah.
lures. I mean, I have some. Matter of fact, I have some new lures too. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
sticking them in my hat.
Oh, so you said you might go out later.
I'm gonna go fishing. This is the day. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, I saw it was nice when I went out earlier.
Yeah.
So fishing?
Hmm.
What kind of fish do you catch if you go out in the afternoon, or what kind of fish we got in the area that you can catch?
So we had some bass. Um, we have this. I don't catch catfish, but there's some around. You might get one, but I throw them back. The
Mhm.
bat, the bass. What else they have out here? They have the little they have the, I call them butterfish, but they're about,
Yeah, wide. Yeah.
yeah, right.
Hmm.
And there's a bunch of other fish. So most of the time when I'm in the area, it's really just an exercise of patience
Yeah.
and thoughtfulness, right? Because
Understood.
even though I love catching the fish, and I come home and put them on the grill, but I use it as a as a mental exercise too.
Yeah,
So
meditation. Yeah,
yeah,
it's very
enjoy
serene.
enjoy the water, right? And
Yeah, and I've been fishing maybe 2 times. So,
really
yeah, and it's it's kind of like playing golf too. I mean,
true,
because like just being on a golf course is very serene.
correct.
Then you find out how many people really can't play golf. They look the part, but they can't. Then you relax because I know
Hmm.
I'm terrible at golf. Clearly, because I don't practice enough.
True.
But the just being out there, it's like serene, and fishing is like that. Um,
Hmm.
one of the times I went fishing, though, it was a whole thing. It was a book charter. Actually, it was a day that there was an earthquake on the East Coast,
Really.
and I was on the water. I didn't even know. When we got back to shore, everybody's phones popped off, and we were like, it was an earthquake or something. I think in DC or something, like it was something like that.
That's
And
crazy.
who knew? But anyway, this isn't the fishing channel.
No.
This is Hayward CPA live and direct. And today we have a topic for you.
Where we
All
provide
that.
insights and perspectives.
Oh yeah, that's what you got going on. That's your turn. So today, the subject of today's stream, podcast, or what have you, is the illusion of gross income. And I have a statement. I have a statement that I want to start off with, which is a description of the show. But have you ever told somebody or told yourself how much money you make? We all have, whatever. But in most cases, you probably were referring to the gross income. But the reality is the gross income or gross earnings and net profit or net income are two different things.
Well,
So
the
in this,
gross doesn't even belong to you.
yeah, but we're gonna get into the fine parts of this because we're gonna say in this episode we're going to discuss
Mm-hmm.
the differences between the two and the danger of not recognizing the difference. That's a pretty good lead in right there. Right? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So yeah, I know. I had a mini I had a mini production meeting. And I was on the phone doing something else, but not how I do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
anyway, so today that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the illusion of gross income, the great illusion that plays on our personal fears and goals and wants and needs. And I make so and so a year, and I should have this, yes, and all that.
Hmm.
And well, I have a new perspective on it. Now, not new. I got a different perspective. So I guess we'll start off. And you know what? Hey, I'm gonna flip the game. So, what does gross income mean to Corey with a K? What does gross income mean to you?
That's
It's
that's
not a
all.
trick question.
No, it's not a trick question. That's all the money that you made. It's money you make.
Yeah. So we'll use earns. Those are your earnings.
Earnings, money
So
you made.
whether you earned it at your job, you earned it in your business,
Mm-hmm.
your earnings.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'll ask you again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you call net income?
It's what I get to keep for myself.
That's right. There you go. All right, that's it. The live stream for the day. No.
We're done.
We going fishing.
I should have had my fishing rod in here
Yeah.
with me.
You be like, yo, that's the word for the day. And we're gonna put this on TikTok.
I'm telling you.
Hey, all right, well there you go. It's a wrap.
And we're done. Drop the mic.
Yeah,
Boom.
good, pretty good. It was simple. All right, done. Okay, but okay, we're gonna dig a little deeper than that. So the point is, okay, so there are two different levels. You have a gross income, your earnings, and then you got your net income, which you actually keep. And there's some nuance in the business part, but we're going to keep this real simple. That's absolutely the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So in society, we tend to discuss the gross income. And that's how we compare. Oh, so and so makes this. They make six figures. They do that. Oh, they make more than me. They do that, blah, 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 blah. Everything. Insert company reported earnings of 28.5 billion. And oh, this, that. You know what? You know what gross earnings are? They're sexy. You know, we say on that's yeah. You know, I mean, you made that, or they make that, or they're GS whatever. This is how much they make, because that's public record, incidentally. By the way, if you work for the government, people they find out your GS number and they figure out how much you make. So for all those people that try, they don't want nobody to know what they making, but don't work for the government. So that's it. Oh, excuse me, what they're earning. We gotta keep the proper tense. So that's how we measure. Okay, yo, I got this much in my 401k. I got everything is up here. So, but as we know, because most of us have had a job, W-2 job, things come out of those earnings. Especially when somebody first has a job, their first job. That's when the shock usually kicks in. Because what do you quote? Oh, we're going to pay you $10 an hour, 40 hours a week. Well, I'm going to make $400 this week.
Get that first check, and you're like, wait a minute.
Who took my money? Yeah. Who's
yeah.
Who are these people? I don't know this. Who's FWT?
And you know what's crazy? With you just saying that, it brought me back to my first paycheck. I was on a construction site. I was 13. My first paycheck was $700. Back then, that was a lot of money, right?
Well, a lot of money, yeah.
30-day pay period, right? First check, $700. That was my gross. that then it went down just under 5, just a
Yeah,
little bit under 5.
yeah, because you
But
probably
I
had
right,
Social Security taken
all
out.
that stuff, yeah, big time. But now that you say that, I remember the feeling I had looking at who took my money, and I did not know who they were and why they were taking my money.
Yeah, you just
Right?
see these initials on the side,
Yeah.
FS, Medicare, or maybe it says
Right.
FICA. You're like,
Right.
who
I go
is
to my
that?
pops. I go to my pops like, what is this?
Yeah. So
Taxes.
you're like, oh, so then becomes the hatred of taxes. That's where it starts. Your first paycheck, you're like, taxes, terrible. They take all my money. They take all my money. So anyway, but we talk about the gross. That's what we get. We go to the gross. No, well, quote. That's the equal measure. The gross earnings. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. But guess what? The net, that's what you actually live off of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you live off of. So we'll use the percentages you put there. It was like 20% and 10. Wow, that was quite a bit of taxes. They took 200 off 700.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the 80s. Yeah, yeah, things were a
Mm-hmm.
little rough back then. So,
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
so
They was in construction, so they charge, I guess there was a different
yeah,
kind of premium for the
yeah, they
benefits.
probably
Yeah.
had some other stuff going on, and plus,
Because I have benefits too. So
yeah, I was just about to say workman's comp
yeah.
it had to be in there. But anyway,
Correct.
we're getting too granular. This is too granular.
Yeah.
It's too early in the morning for all that.
Too
Yeah,
early.
you
Way
do
too
quick.
early.
So you took just under 30% of your check right there. So let's just use that scenario. We'll use 20 to make
Mm-hmm.
people feel warm and fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you make $100,000 a year using the Cortastic first paycheck method, you're only bringing home 80,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So how much do you see? You know what I'm saying? You earned 100, but you brought home 80.
Mm-hmm.
So do you pay your bills off of your earnings or what you bring home? So just yeah, trick question there. We need the Jeopardy timer right now to figure it out. So
You can only count what you have.
that's it. That's what you bring home.
Correct.
So you bring home 80,000. Okay, that's a little over $6K a month. All right. So you bring that, 6,000 a month, 6,200, whatever the number is. That's what you bring home, and that's what you live off of.
Mm-hmm.
But we've already established 62 something a month is 80,000, not 100,000. So it seems like, I know it may seem obvious or whatever, but it's a mindset because people characterize or personalize themselves on their gross.
Correct.
They say, oh, I make 100, 200, 250,000. That's what we do. That's how we identify. That's what we make. But you live off of way less than that.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of cases, those high earning people, how people in higher earnings, they pay more taxes. So they usually don't get refunds.
True.
So you living off of what you bring home.
Correct.
Now, the thought patterns after you get a certain amount, you got enough to live or what have you. Okay, beautiful. But what I'm trying to talk about here today, and we're going to talk about in the business too, is understand this is another and probably the first it won't be a series, but us getting down to the psychology and the emotions of money and understanding money with life. Because we can sit here and we can tell you all the things, this KPIs, all these good things. But if you don't at least get a framework to internalize it, they're not going to mean anything to you.
Correct.
You're going to say, you're going to learn, oh, well, the current ratio is current assets over current liabilities. It's like, okay. No, it's just like anything. So now it's for us to put it in practice in your everyday. And we starting with wage earners because that's the place to characterize it. But it applies for business and what have you. But you live off of what you take home. So if you're doing a budget, shouldn't you? But you should budget on what you're taking home. But the way the world is the financial world, the consumer financial world, especially, is constituted. When you go to get a mortgage, they qualify you on your gross income. So that by itself, they qualify you on the amount that you're not bringing home.
Correct. Confusing already, right?
Yeah. Or most credit facilities do it on the gross.
Yeah,
Why?
correct.
Because it's easier. Who the heck, they ain't gonna go through all that. But they do it on the gross. So right there. So if I'm making 100,000 and they qualify me for a mortgage off 100,000, but I'm bringing home 80,000.
Well, I guess you gotta get a second. Gotta get another job to make up that 20.
Yeah, but in some regards, you can afford it. The issue is the car is based on 100,000. The credit cards are based on 100,000.
Yeah.
Everything's based on 100,000.
Right.
So if you were just buying the house, then you could, okay, yeah, I don't have a car payment and with that, I don't have private school, all these other costs. The transaction in isolation, you can afford. You add the other transactions, increases in gas. Like I went to get gas this morning. They pumped it back up, I guess, for Mother's Day, which is interesting.
Yeah,
they pumped it back up. But we had these fluctuations. So why and we put these things out. Well, Americans don't save money. They don't have any money to save because they're living off something. They're living on mentally off of something 20-30% more in cash they got in the bank.
Correct.
That's why credit card debt is exploding. No kidding. First of all, you keep giving credit cards.
And then you keep putting programs out to forgive them.
Yeah, they don't really work. They work, but
no, it just creates more debt. But
yeah, but yeah, well, I think it puts in. They put people say get off the hook, but they're not gonna get off the hook. It hurts your credit for a little while, but you get another credit card. You get because that's what the American economy is based on, credit. So
right,
without credit, all right, I dig it. But I'm talking to us individually. Like, look, this comes up. Hey, you got to tell yourself I'm working on what I bring home. That's all I'm saying. If you want to lower your heartburn, you got to work on that. But our stuff, no one goes into a party. If you in that type of party where people are sharing their financial information, I don't know where that party would be, but you might just have a party where you're talking. So, what do you work? What do you make? Somewhere around this, what are you going? I bring home about 4,000-5,000 a month. You're gonna say no. I'll make about 90, 95. You ain't gonna say. You ain't gonna say it. Like, you gonna be like, yeah. I'm up in there. I'm reaching for 6 figures, B. Yo, you already at 6 figures with the decimal. So hey, when you make $1,000, you got 6 figures in there with the decimal. So that's why I always tell people. I was like, yeah, I make 6 figures with the decimal, like that. But it's a mindset. So you go there. So I know all our business owners are waiting on bated breath. But I own a business. It's a little different for me. Well, actually, no, it's worse for you because this is where it happens.
You're the last person in the row.
Yeah, well, you last one to get paid. But here's the thing: when you start a business, you got gross revenue, and it feeds. The reason I'm going this way is it feeds in gross revenue. Nobody ever talks about the net, and nobody. How'd you do last year? Oh, we did 200,000. Oh, we did 250. Oh, we did $1 million. Oh, look at that company. they did 22 million, you know, all that. No one says, yeah, our net profit margin is 5%. That's what the net profit is. Why? Because that's not impressive at a party when you got little finger sandwiches and stuff. Ain't impressive. Ain't nobody want to hear that. No one wants to hear 5% of anything. That 5%. Oh, you're supposed to be successful, but you might be successful because 5% might be some good cash, but 5%. So it's the same trap, and the trap is worse for business owners because I speak about this with my my consults and you know, people I do work with, and business owners get obsessed with raising the top line. So when their businesses are struggling, the natural instinct that we garner from being wage earners.
Right, I was going to say that. Right,
yeah,
right.
And it's like
it's a transition, and there was no. You actually didn't change the tracks because you still had that employee.
You still got that mentality. So I need a raise. So that's what it is. I don't have as much money. I don't have the money that I think I should have. So I need to make more money. That's the natural thought. Make more money. And so in business, people say, oh, well, we need to increase sales. And like I've said plenty of times, you know, it's like pouring water in the desert. It's like, if your situation is sucking up cash, making more money is not going to result in you having more money because your system is inefficient. So what you have is that people will say, oh well, need to, and then it's very rarely a target. It seems like it's the remedy to all, because if I'm do more in revenue, and then the thought trails off because it says, well, we need to do more in sales. Okay, dig it.
Then what?
Yeah.
So now that affects more sales, so you need more product, right? Or you need more bodies for the service you provide, right? So that goes to your cost and to your expenses and trickles on down. So, but you still need more revenue, still need more sales. So, like you're saying, where does it? So, at what point, where does your forecasting model come into place so you can focus on that bottom line number, which is the most important? Business is going to take care of itself. But if the owner and the owners or the employees are not substantially compensated to where pressure is at a minimum, the business will obviously fold, because the business is a direct correlation of one's activity, mental activity, and things of that nature. So you're right.
I mean, the gross income is a scorecard of your efforts.
Right.
The net income is what you live off of. Just like the job. Your earnings is a scorecard of your work performance, or what they deem your in the business. The people pay you for. I'm trying to get away from the V word, but they try to train you. You know, they're paying you for what your worth is to the company. So then you get your net. That's what you live.
What they think your worth is to not your worth to the company. Because if somebody paid me what my worth was, I'll be okay. But
yeah, well, no, that's what I'm saying. What they deem worth is. Yeah. I mean, because once again, I go back to that. I haven't yet to meet the person that says they pay me enough at my job. I ain't met that person yet. I ain't never met nobody.
I think I've had a few people tell me that.
Well, they say they pay. They get enough for their job.
Wow. Yeah, their job pays them very well.
No, I said enough. See, that's the difference. that basically, I get paid enough. I don't need a raise.
What is enough, though?
It's all internal. That's what I'm saying. You will never hear somebody say, "Oh, they pay me enough." It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's mentality. No, I never met a person to be like. Now I've heard people like, "I can't believe they're paying me this much for doing this."
Right.
But they don't give no money back. I ain't heard nobody say, "You know what? you're paying me too much for the amount of work I do. You can get this back.
Oh, it's probably a TV show, a movie, or something like that.
Yeah, I ain't talking about that. This is the TV show right here. I'm talking about. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about that. Just somebody say, but goes to the mentality of what we dealing with here. Like this is the thing. No one says that, so that's why I try to stay away from the V word because that's a that's a trap word now. But anyway, and so we get back to your gross revenue, your gross income. Take it whatever you want. Is a scorecard of your performance. One way or another. Now in business, net income. That's the owner that's the compensation to the owner, to the proprietor, to the entrepreneur, to the person that took the risk, to the shareholders, the partners, whatever you want to call it. That's the money. Keep it simple. So what happens is, what it is, I need more revenue. Like you pointed out, you have to spend more money to generate that revenue. So what has to be considered is that if you make a move, and let's just say your profit, your net margin. So what that is, it'd be your gross income less all your cost of doing business. And
less.
I'm keeping it simple. I'm just going to put that all together.
Okay.
And then we got a percent. What percent of that dollar, for every dollar, what percent are you keeping as profit? Different industries have different rates, like standardized. Not standardized, but it's more like performance rates, best price, metrics. Let's just say you got 20%. Now 20, your industry, 20, but the average net income is 20%. Okay. Well, the first thing in order to do some quartastic forecasting is you have to know that. What is your net profit percentage? Another show, we get to that. But you got to know what it is. We're using 20% for our example. Now, what that means is that for every dollar you make, you keeping 20 cents. That's all. Every dollar. 20 cents. That's what's available for either to reinvest or to put in your pocket, whatever. So now, if I spend another dollar to make more money, if I spend another dollar in total, that means I have to make $5 more in revenue to take that 20 cents by 5 to break even on where I spent the additional dollar to.
Correct.
So now, but if I sell $5 more, I'm still back where I was before I made that other dollar investment. So for me to do better, I have to make $5.01, and then I come up with a 20th of a cent better than I did if I didn't make the dollar investment.
Correct.
I don't have my whiteboard up, but I can provide that for you. But think about it. You spent this money. Oh, I'm going to boost the sales. You boosted the sales $5 more just to break even. So that's
But that speaks to what you're talking about in terms of, okay, I boosted myself $5 more over X amount of units or people, which gives me this gross amount. So that number looks big, and they're working off of that top line number. But once it trickles down the funnel, you're left in the red.
Yeah. So that's where the focus has to be on. Well, one of the first things to do is, instead of increasing the sales, and don't get me wrong, yes, we want sales to grow. Everybody, you want sales to grow, but that grows as you want to grow the right way, for lack of a better word. But one way to look at it, using our good old 20% thing, is is there any way that we can make 50 cents on the dollar?
Mm-hmm.
Are there things that we're doing that could push our net profit margin up? Because we control right now. It could be in this small stuff. And I'm saying it for business, but personal is the same thing. And we all do this. Let's just take subscriptions, online subscriptions. You got everything, all of them, every last one of them. You don't watch none of them. Just so you paying $7, $13, $15, whatever. Let's say it comes out to $25 a month, and you don't watch any of them. None of them. You still doing, mostly you still end up renting the movies, but you paying all these other things. And you got cable, you got everything, all that, but you don't even watch it. So you might be spending $100 a month on stuff that you don't even use. It was $1,200 a year.
Correct.
Goes to your pocket. In business, your scheduling might be too much. You might be buying too many goods. You might, like some people, have subscriptions to applications that you don't use because you think you're going to use it in the future. So you're paying it back at the month. Then that becomes 2 years. You're still paying for it. And then it might be $20 a month. That's nothing. But that's your $20. If you're not using it as a business owner, that's your $20.
So if I hear you correctly, you're saying to focus intentionally on the activity of your bottom line and look for ways to increase the withholdings of your bottom line more effectively and not necessarily towards your top line.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean it up for you.
Because because I'm just kind of talking through this. So
Yeah.
Because if we're focusing on cleaning up the top line, making more money to buy more things and do this, the bottom line is neglected in a sense until it becomes a fire hazard in a sense, right?
To an extent. I mean, to take that point, what I'm saying is you control your expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Your revenue, you don't have a direct control because you have to market and then sell for people to come. But you control what you send out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's periodically reviewing to see that if I'm spending too much on XYZ, why am I spending this? You got payroll. Payroll is usually the big thing. You got to rock with it. But there's a lot of lost money. Like you put stuff out there. So I can get the same effect of adding. I can actually have a better effect in our scenario. I got to add $5 in sales for that dollar I spent to break even for the investment to break even. But I can reduce my expenses by $1 and gain 20 cents.
Simple enough.
Yeah, the simple as it's just like that. So that's the scenario. I can reduce. So I'm better off. But how does it look? I got $5 more in sales. Look at me. But I'm in the same place I was before, as opposed to I reduce expenses by $1. I got 20 cents more.
Well, it's a huge, but it's a huge issue. It's a huge issue.
Yeah.
Right. So as much as we're sitting here breaking this down, and it seems like just do this and do that, why is it not? What's happening to where folks are not really grasping that concept to create that framework for themselves? Like, what is it? I mean, when we all go through, and I'm asking the question in terms of we all go through those phases. We all, in order to be successful, we have to stumble up upon these things that we challenge ourselves or we fail at, right? So, even to better even what we're doing, everyone, but it's like, what is it? Because it's such a common thing.
Yeah. Well, it's the sociology of money where we started. It's the focus, the fixation is on the top line. This we live in a top line society. We live in a society where we our earnings are so close to our personal being. It's part of your identity. I mean, being poor in the United States is a descriptor. It's an adjective. It's a you are poor. But then again, there are government statistics, but how do you determine that? How do you really measure that? So the way that money what it means for us in our society, I mean, it takes people that not have any friends without money and gives them money, makes them part of society. It makes you feel good about yourself. It does all that. So that's where it starts. So it's all about making more, making more, making more. It's more about it really is. It's more about making more. There's more. The pie is endless, which is true, but that's where the focus is. And but it's always the flip side to that is it's also about you're not living if you're not spending. Basically, if you watch TV and media, whatever, everything is about spending.
Yeah,
So
we're spending we're consciously spending on what? It should be about experiences and maybe skill sets.
yeah, but for the hamster wheel, it's about spending, even if it's experience. Ooh, so this what I'm saying. If you ever have just notated commercials, and you can have a commercial block where you have a commercial about saving for your retirement, a block with a retirement savings, a cruise trip, whatever experience of a lifetime, a new car at 1.9 or no interest, and a furniture set or a bed for 0% for 2 years, all in the same block, and the message is all over the place. That's it. So it is a message because for advertising, which is, I mean, this is the science of advertising. I mean, advertisers is saying how you can do it. Like, hey, you can get this and pay for it later.
True.
It's nothing better than getting it and paying for it later from the consumerism standpoint.
True.
Best thing ever. But the dopamine you get from that purchase is done and you're still paying for it. And that's what the hangover is. So it's not.
I like that. That's a good rewind. That was good. That was good. The dopamine you get, the excitement, the confidence, I've accomplished this, or it looks great, it feels great, right? And you're like, oh man, I don't have to pay anything. No interest or low interest, and I can pay X amount per month over a period of time. You're right. Then when that wears off and the agita starts to set in,
you like, I'm still paying for this mess. See, your focus on, I can't wait. But and what makes it work?
You got to go get that dopamine again, so you try to find something else, and it just keeps going.
It keeps going. Then eventually your debt is so that take home, you eroding it because you paid no interest or whatever. So you paying 150 for that. Oh, it's only 200. Yeah, but you still got the 150 for the other side. So now you got 350 in it. Oh man, I can get this at 3 payments and so on and so forth. Okay, bet. Now, but you got to remember, you got 350 already. So we live in a society of spending. That's what in our economy is based on consumer spending.
True.
So as business owners, that you come in like that, and you get these great, I want to call them idioms, but everything we have. You have to spend money to make money, but you don't have to spend all your money to make money. That's the thing. You can spend money to make money. So they spend money to make money when things are not going the way I want. And some of this goes into the coaching, the biz therapy, by not setting a goal or setting a target. what are you trying to make? So, so when you talk in abstract terms and when you're dealing with numbers, good things aren't bound to happen
Correct.
because what's the target? I don't know.
Correct.
One of the first things as a business owner, and I understand when the heck do you have time to think about this? But going in, what do I want to make? Simple question. Oh, answer.
Yeah, but you know what though? I've asked that question, and
Okay.
I've asked myself that question a lot of times through biz therapy. I've asked those questions. Um, the answer may be simple, but what I find is before you say how much, before you can answer how much do you want, how much do you need for yourself to live your lifestyle? I think the blockages have to be cleared, and so the blockages are limitation in thinking, right? So you have a business owner, it's a sole prop. They're wearing 17 hats, 20 hats. They're going through everything, and certain limitations are applied because of those habits, because of those hats. And so, how do you really? How could you truly see with clarity what it is that you really need? Can you see that amount of money that you need to survive and the ability to achieve it and maintain it without having other mental blockages? Am I making sense?
Yeah, I mean, I see it because I understand it. Um,
Which results into habits, right? Okay,
yeah, habits and
I'm
fear.
just gonna spend this money on this thing so it could take care of it for me.
Yeah,
Not knowing that you don't even need to spend that money. What else can you put into place? Or what else can you remove?
yes, but it's being in awareness of yourself. It's like financial awareness of self. So it's starting back from the beginning of the show. Hey, I make $100,000. I'm bringing home, what did we say, 6,200 or whatever the number I say, whatever.
Yeah,
It's less than 100.
6,200. Yeah.
It's 6,200. If you know that, if you were working, it's 6,200. And so if you was bringing home 6,200 but still relying on credit for everything that you got, then you overspending for one. So, which is fine. We all do it. I'm not, saying you overspend, but just in the numerical, so you were overspending. So, but now if you go into business for yourself or start a business, something like that, that same income stream, you gotta say, well, I know I need 6,200 a minimum, but I really need to bring home the 8333 that 100,000 is. And because the way you administer taxes and stuff as a business owner is a little different. So, and that means you have to, the earnings, the bottom line has to be 120,000 for you to bring home 100,000 for you to bring home 100,000, so that you have
Mm-hmm.
8333 a month, which is the
Mm-hmm.
amount that I really thought I was making as work. But but right now I got to match. I was 6,200. That's what I was bringing home at my job. And guess what? That is difficult, especially in the early stages of your job, unless you have, contract situation set up to match. Most people, when they start a business coming from corporate America, they take pay cuts. They take pay cuts. I mean, that's, what happens. Almost everybody takes a pay cut because you're not hiring for you and you're going to work more. So,
Mm-hmm.
so what happens? So you have this dissident. So, but that's a place to set to. So even if I said, okay, I got to make, this is where the growth trap happens again.
Mm-hmm.
Is I used to make 100,000 a year. I'm gonna start my man. I'm tired of these people. I don't want no boss no more. I'm tired of this. You know what? I'm gonna work for myself. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make 100,000. I got me a contract. You know what? I got me $125,000 contract, but it requires me to travel.
Mm-hmm.
125,000. So they're gonna pay me in two sums, 50,000 up front and 50,000 on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can see where this is a problem.
Yeah, I already see where we're going with this.
Because you are in your mind, you making 100,000, son.
That 50 that you have in your pocket is an imaginary 100,000
yeah,
from
because
the rip
you got to spend money to
make
fulfill what you're being compensated for.
Mm-hmm.
So it may cost you 20%. That's something you don't see when you working for somebody. You don't see the hard and soft costs. You don't see them. You may be responsible for your department budget or something like that, but you ain't paying it. All right, this is a whole different ball game. So now, if you were supposed to take 20% off of that, but nah, you say, yo, that's 50K. I'm doing what I need to do. Boom. All right. It's on. Me and the wife, we going to the show. We going on vacation. Bong do vacation, man. I deserve all this. I'm out. Like that. Burn through 25K in 2 months. I'm out. I'm doing it. Then they're like, hey, we need you to go to 3 of our sites, so and so, and we need you to be on the road for 10 days, whatever. A word, yeah. Okay. They ain't sending you no ticket. So, and even if it was reimbursed, you got to pay for it first to get money back. But you burning up. You know what I'm saying? You don't took 20 of the other and you don't put it, you gonna bought a CD. You gonna be smart. I'm gonna put it in a CD. So I got 5, whatever. Now you gotta come up with the money to fulfill your business stuff. So now you're like, oh dang. All right. So all them credit cards paid now, you had to use. What did you do? Because you weren't in sync with what you made. Your profit on the project was 80,000, not 100, maybe even 70. That was your profit, pre-tax profit. So so it comes from our work mindset. All of us, the majority of us worked at some point. And so your mentality is when you work, even though working has a lot of sunk cost that people don't think about.
Of course.
They don't think about traveling, whether you do mass transit or not. There's a travel cost. And the big one is lunch.
I'll give you a bigger one.
What's that?
Petty cash.
Yeah, well, whatever you got going on during the day.
for little things, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you got employees with stuff,
Yeah.
Get a flat tire hair.
Yeah, what I'm saying, as the employee.
True.
You don't have you have hidden costs. Like it costs money to go to work. That's the whole thing. I remember, I don't know if my mother told me something like that. Like you can't go to work broke the first day. You sitting up there, everybody going to lunch. Hey, I've been there. I'm broke, man.
Peanut butter and jelly.
You gotta go to the machine.
Peanut butter and jelly, and you might be able to get a soda or juice.
Yeah, maybe. But you up there, you come home, you hungry. You sitting there. You don't go to work broke. You spend money when you go to work. That's the whole point. So
I'll tell you, I went to work broke, ate me some sandwiches I brought from home because I knew I had to feed some mouths at the end of the day, right? So who eats?
But it's a cost to doing business.
Yeah, true.
Even when you have a job.
True.
I go back with my world famous Starbucks habit. If you tell yourself, I got to get my every morning, you spend $4 every morning, 5 days a week. That's $20 a week.
I think it's more than 4 though, but
yeah, but you may go in and come back. I'm doing it for to make the math easy.
Gotcha.
So that's so then we just say $5 5 times a week, 100. That's $25 a week times 52. End of the year. That's a cost. But guess what? It ain't reflecting your W-2.
No.
That ain't reflected nowhere. That's in your take home. So you taking $1,200 off the top. So you each month you taking $100 off of your take home pay is going to buying your sweet drink in the morning.
And And it's taken away from that tax that you probably got to pay.
Yeah, well, it's taken away from your take home is what I'm more so I'm saying that like so we can get into it, but like, we got the mortgage payment, we got that. Okay.
Yeah.
You go to Starbucks. If it's in your mind that I'm going to Starbucks, I need my Starbucks, or I gotta go to McDonald's or something every morning to eat before I go to work. Now I tie that to your work. Now you may go to Starbucks, but if you were staying home, well, you probably would go. You ain't got to, yeah. It's all right. You get a Keurig machine or something.
Yeah.
But it's a sunk cost. It's just like in business. There's stuff that you have that you don't absolutely need to generate the revenue.
Correct.
You don't need it. You can have what you want. You don't need it. But when your money's short, the initial thought is I need to make more. But if you make more using this Starbucks habit, that means you're going to go. If you make more, there's a higher chance that you're going to go twice a day. Now, why? Because I make more money. I make more money. Get what I want. I don't want.
Hey, you want Starbucks? I'm gonna bring you. What you want?
Oh yeah. Now you buying the bar out at Starbucks. All right. So, what do? What control in that scenario? What can you control? You control what you spend. But it's scary, because we are a spending society. We are spending that you have to really sit back and to tell yourself, like, I don't need that. I mean,
and not really care about how anybody else feels about it or what society tells you, which it is pretty difficult for a lot of people, right? So I mean,
but even yourself, even for you to be like, I do it daily. Now, some people have accused me of being frugal. Hey, you're probably right. But my point is, I buy good stuff though. If you see all the equipment in this room, you understand. I buy what I buy, but it's in business and in life. Like, so you know what? The reason I'm saying is it is not really aggressive is because then we'll have people start talking about generational wealth.
Yeah, correct.
You can't have generational wealth if you spend all the money while you alive.
So it boils down to habits, right? Because even with generational, we may make it now for our generations. They didn't have to put in the work to make that amount that we left for them. So you're right, their level of appreciation is different because there ain't no sweat equity put into it. So what it boils down is to mindset. More importantly, the habits that are brought down, right? That are taught and that revolve around the idea of financial security.
Yeah, well, it is. It's everything is like a advertising dig, generation. We got catchphrases, they're keywords. It's like we got SEO in our conversations. Generational wealth. Okay, dude, you got to get wealth first. Don't worry about the generation. What is wealth? And there's a misconception of wealth. We have an episode of Financial Flip Side about what is wealth. What is wealth? It's a subjective term, number one. It's subjective and factual at the same time because, wealth, in short, is your money making money for you. So that's how wealth happens. You accumulate wealth by your money making money for you. Not you earn. That's it. That's how you accumulate wealth. So for generational wealth, you have to have wealth. And I keep talking about this thing. I have to do more research on this with this research study that said the median income or median net worth of Black America will be zero by 2053. Zero. Half the population, half of the Black population have negative wealth. Half will have $1 plus. They put you on that side. So my question would be, soon we need to concentrate on wealth while I'm alive before we get to the generational piece.
Correct.
And it's the way you say things. It informs your habits. So just to get back to I got to get in the core track. It forms your habits of the way that you understand and you believe things. Because if you're thinking that my way is to make more money, but you spend it faster than you make it, doesn't matter. I mean, I'm like, would someone rather make 50,000 nothing off zero, no expenses, 50,000, or make $1,000,000 and it costs you 999,099, whatever, up to
Not
it.
950,000.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah,
But that's the push, though. That's a push.
true.
Because, I'm saying, I'm just saying that if you were making $1 million and it cost, I'm doing real simple, $1,000,000 and $1, and it costs you $1,000,000 to generate that, or it had 50,000 and it ain't cost you nothing.
Take that 50.
Yeah, it costs you nothing. You ain't do nothing. But we are predisposed to earning more because
because it's $1 million. Like, yo, I'm a millionaire. I can buy what I want.
But actually, you're not. If you could generate $1 million, you only got $1 left. You a dollar heir. I think that's typifying what I'm saying.
I was reading. Remember that? I don't know if you read this article I sent to you, but to pontificate on what you're saying, the quote from the lady, the professor Santos from Yale University says, "Our minds are lying to us about how much of an impact extra cash will have on our well-being."
Yeah, and that's taking it a level deeper.
It is, but it still coats everything that we're talking about.
Yeah,
in terms of gross, thinking that your gross is it, and your gross is not it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, because your gross makes you feel better about yourself.
Correct.
And then so, I mean, look, we're all about generating discussion here.
Send some questions.
Yeah, because this can be a series of things. This is the psychology of money. There's the psychology and the sociology of money. We spend. We're spenders, business owners. They come in. I'm not. The biggest thing is, so look, wage earners always say, "I don't make enough money." Business owners always say, "I didn't make that much money." That's what they always say. Because when you show the collected against the expenses, the amount collected just usually flaws them. Like, I didn't.
Well, that goes back to books, but I digress from.
Yeah, we digress on that. But it goes back even deeper. The books is still the habits, because you can have the books and you don't.
But if you have a good, yeah, you're right. But if you happen to at least have some books,
yeah,
you could begin to you'll subconsciously train yourself habit wise.
Yeah,
because you'll get tired of looking at the negatives on your books.
Yeah, and most importantly, you be tired of not having any money. That's the reality. Is when you
but people buy what they want, borrow for what they need anyway.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you run a business, man, at a certain point you get to it. You say, "Yo," I'm saying if you want to, at some point you gotta be like, "Yo," I've told plenty of people this. I said, "Yeah, when you tired of being broke, you get on it."
Yeah, true.
Because when you're in a business, you control the situation. You control what you spend. The revenue is beyond your control. That's the marketplace. Fine. But you control, do I really need this? Do I need that? In some cases, you need it. Your revenues do have to catch up with what your expenditures are.
Correct.
But often you're spending more, or you're spending on something too long, where you need to make a pivot because, all right, that's not working for my goal. Your great thing is like advertising or marketing. You'll get somebody that say they're not doing it as well, and then here comes somebody. They see something on Instagram while they're drinking their Starbucks, because I quit working, but I still gotta have my Starbucks. I want it for me, And the guy says, "I can show you how to make 150,000 in 3 weeks. You just got to pay me, $2,000." And because
don't do that, people. Don't do that.
Yeah, first of all, He's showing you how to make 150. He or she is showing you how to make 150,000. Tell everybody that you can make them $150,000 in 3 weeks and have them pay you $2,000. That's how you make $150,000.
Exactly.
as actually they're like,
Yeah, that's the formula.
games right there and say, yeah, I can show you. It's like, I think you've already shown me. So it's going to say like, oh, like, all right, you have control. And this is something that we should explore. It's like, how do you gain control of this business? You are in control of this. You are in control of the purse strings. And that's a big responsibility, but your responsibility to what you want in the bottom line. You want the bottom line. And until you establish what you want to make from the business, when you have that, then it'll guide your decisions on what to spend on and what not to spend on. And that's wrapping up the core-tastic point of, you gotta have books, gotta be active in the books. And heck, some of us need professional help to interpret.
You need an individual game plan, you need a business game plan. These are foundational tools that you can use to help you streamline, because your moods are going to change, situation is going to change, inflation is going to be there. Life happens, right? But
I was about to say that,
right? So but when you have these tools in place and you have certain resources in place, it doesn't matter how you trip and fall. When you get back up, it'll still be there for you to focus and move forward.
So, it was without a doubt. And that's where, you get into this, but it starts with this gross revenue love. It starts with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing the amount of, with the type of people, the amount of people we talk to, the clients that we have going through the programs. It's amazing that it's that simple question of, well, how much revenue you think you'll make next year? I think I could do like you want to make 500,000, you want to make 800,000. Like, I'll never make that much. Why not?
Yeah.
How could you even say? Tell me how do you say that? What are you using? What's in front of you right now that you're using to say that particular statement? And then it always goes back to not having a game plan, right? So having a game plan again, and it's experience. Everyone goes through it. Nobody's special. No one. The only living things that are special in that case are animals, because we take care of them.
Yeah. Got a pretty good deal, man. I'm telling you. I mean, I could see doing an episode just on the benefits for pets.
I'm telling you,
good, man. They're living good.
Strange.
And then, what's interesting about pets? I know people probably listening to this like, what the heck? Where is this come from? But the thing about it, that we're such suckers for pets, because most people who have never had a pet and I don't dogs. I don't like dogs. And when you get a dog, somehow whatever circumstance gets you in the dog game, then all of a sudden I'm gonna go buy PetSmart. This is somebody who's claiming they don't like no pets, no animals, and I don't want no animals in my house. And they feeding them from the table the whole nine.
But when you come home, that animal, that pet, that dog, at least from a dog perspective, I'm talking about has the balloons out, the music, the little ribbons going crazy every day. Doesn't matter. It could be 10 times a day you in and out. Every time you come back home, they're like, yo, you're back.
Yeah, it's like that. And then you get a cantankerous dog like mine, and he does it for about 30 seconds. Then he's like, oh, you ain't had no treats. Never mind.
Now, we're not talking about the ones that just go tear up sofas.
Oh, yeah. No. We talking about the ones that there's a genuine bond. This is the thing. They ride with you, True. So, but that has not much to do with your gross income. That has to do with your happiness. That has to do with your happiness, right?
Well, hold on. Hold on. Wait a second.
I know you were going to get there. That's why I was teeing it up.
Wait a second. If we can learn the fundamentals from creatures, from animals, right?
Good point. Great point.
because they're happy with drinking water, eating some food, some snacks, some toys, doing their business, and
Mm-hmm.
laying on their backs and snoring and licking stuff, right?
Yeah.
And they can do this
They do it every day,
same thing
all
for
day, every day.
years, and
Yep.
they still are happy,
Yep.
right? So you play a little pull and tug with the toy.
Yeah.
Well, mine's I give him a treat. Now he doesn't eat the treat unless I go and act like I'm going to take the treat. So then he gets in attack mode. And he get down on the tree. He like got to put his head over the tree, and I'm trying to get, and he's growling at me. And I have to do this. I could do it for like 20 seconds, and he's unhappy. I got to
Yeah.
do it for like a minute or more,
Yeah.
and then then he goes off in the corner, eats his treat. But this so gross profit again, not allowing the society, the false emotions of, well, I need to make more money to be happier, when your net is suffering. When comparing that to animals, their basics every single day, it doesn't change who
All
they
good.
are.
Yeah.
You know,
That's. I mean, excellent point. And that. I mean, it's true because it gets into the happiness. So, and I think we could explore that another time. It's like, yo, how are you happy? You got to be happy in what you're doing. I mean, you don't have to, but it's the way the world is now and the amount of stressors we face. Like I remember when I commuted, when I had to commute somewhere, and I mean, just the practice of commuting, where everybody's trying to go somewhere at the same time, it can cause stress because you're there, you trying to get there before a certain time, get there, you want that, I got a meeting first thing in the morning, someone's expecting that. You got all these 800 different things that, when you're working, and it could wear you out.
and so so we numb we numb the pain by buying things.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna get a new car, so if I have to sit in traffic, at least I'll be sitting in style. You know, man, I'm tired of looking at this sofa. I'm just gonna this weekend we're gonna go get a new sofa because I want it. So I'm tired of these people. I mean, yeah, but that's the way it's set up out here. It's, I mean, as I say, television and media is so strong in this country. I mean, it is super strong.
Well, it's called programming for a reason.
Yeah, no doubt. But I'm staying away from the political part of it. I was talking as a sociologist. I was talking like so just to study the behavior, which is true. I mean, advertising is advertising there to define behavior. To your point, I mean, it's
to influence an action.
Yeah.
Basically.
So it's there to elicit, but I think even now the watching shows and different things tell us how we should be living to be considered successful, middle class, whatever you want to use. And people get caught in it. And when I mean, there's plenty of times. Maybe you're in your business and you working hard, whatever, you doing whatever. You make 150,000 in your business, but that gives you got like a 50% profit margin. You put 75 in your pocket. It's easy to feel like some kid who just got out of college, went to Wall Street, making 250,000 a year. You like, really? You're like, what? My business don't make what this kid make. And so it's easy to just get wrapped up.
True.
But if it's working for you,
true.
Because if the other side is that, would you be willing to do what this young person is able to do? Or will be required to do? That's even more blunt. They're going to be required to do. Because when you get to a certain income range, there's no such thing as, I got something else to do. What? It's like, what else could you possibly have to do? Because we paid you enough money so that you don't ever have to do anything else but work. That's it. You could pay people to handle any other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kid's birthday, can't you get us? We got the deep fake game. That pretty soon they're gonna have that. They're going to like robot avatars. Yeah, take your place.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because
That's
we got that little 3D virtual
yeah, it's going
reality.
down. It's going
Yeah.
down. That's why I try to be as off the wall as possible. Because if they clone this, I'm making put in some work. Be like, yo,
Be in
it,
trouble.
like
Going
that ain't
slow.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
anyhow, look, it's been real. It's a fishing day, so we gotta go fishing. We gotta
Yeah,
put Hank.
we out. We
Yeah,
out. We out.
it was good, interesting topic. You know,
Well,
I
send us
probably
some questions. Send us some questions because you know we want to answer questions, right? We want to peel back so we can get a little give you guys some more jewels, but we're just
yeah,
trying to just these are conversations that we run across every single day with just regular people like ourselves.
everyday people. I'm everyday people. So that's the. But yeah, send the emails. Actually, I'm going to change. Send the emails to hello@Haywood CPA. Hello
Put that in the box.
is down in the comments. Somewhere down there. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe and hit the notification. You see how much YouTube I've been watching, right? That's the stats. But check out YouTube channel. We got some great programming planning to come up on there.
Yeah, subscribe here. So wherever it is, subscribe.
Go subscribe. But yes, definitely hello@Haywood CPA. Now we about to get crazy spam now. We're about to get, it's just out there. And we'll get a bunch of crazy emails. We're like, I'm locked in a prison in London. If you send me $500, I'll be able to, I'll be able to reward like anyway.
Tell me, I can increase my net.
Yeah, they're gonna increase their net 500 if you pay them. Anyway, man, I'm so snarky. All right, I need to go. Happy Mother's Day, by the way. It's Mother's Day
Happy
week.
Mother's Day.
To all the
Happy Mother's
mothers, the stepmothers, the auntie mothers, the
Any
one.
nurturing female
Yep, the
because
den
they're
mothers,
all mothers.
the foster mothers,
Mm-hmm.
all the mothers. Mothers are important. That's my word. That's my thing. I'm gonna leave it like that. Mothers are very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And in June, fathers will be. No, it's not. It's very important every day. It's very important. Very important. So give them their day. Give them every day if you can.
Well, that's the key there. I mean,
Yeah,
I have a whole opinion on one day situations. So it's
we
not
might
right.
explore that in the
It's not
Corey.
it's not right.
Yeah, but
But we're gonna go with it.
yeah, we're gonna rock with it. But nah, definitely the moms, the whatever, and just and women in general who tend to nurture in general. I mean, they tend to nurture. So you may have a motherly instinct even. So enjoy your day. Do your thing. So not unfortunately, I mean, some of y'all might have to cook for your own Mother's Day, but because cats would either cook or go take out, So, well, that's the hardest day to go get a restaurant, but, like Mother's Day. And in this area is worse because all the graduations are like Mother's Day weekend. So you can't eat out here. So, you can go to Subway or something, whatever it takes.
Food truck, maybe.
Yeah, no doubt. Radio. So anyway, rodeo, excuse me. So as we go, hey, with CPA Live, we up out of here. It's been a blast. Glad I'm going, thanks for having us over. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with more Cortasticism. And I'll be in the building too. All right. You know it. Check out the deuce. Peace.